Welcome to Dancing in the Kitchen, a cooking show with a twist. My name is Hannah Romanowski, and we're here to celebrate the joy of cooking and movement and food and culture and how all of this has to do with well-being. This month, we are honoring women's history. And this is a topic as ancient as it is relevant today. The role of women in healing and in medicine. For centuries, women have been the healers of their communities. Midwives, herbalists, kitchen alchemists, and caretakers, passing down knowledge, nourishment, and healing through the generations. From the spice in our cabinets to our grandmother's remedies, all of this is tucked into yummy recipes. Food has been the source of sustenance and healing through families passed down from women for generations. And that's something to honor today, that legacy. Today, we're going to be diving into the healing traditions of the kitchen and how the wisdom of women and the wisdom of food can nourish us and heal us and help us take care of our health. We're going to learn how simple ingredients can enhance our vitality and our well-being, reclaiming food as healing medicine in our lives. So grab your apron and a cup of herbal tea and maybe a pinch of something magical from your spice rack, because tonight we are cooking up a celebration of women, of wellness, of wisdom, and the timeless power of the kitchen. Shall we dance? Welcome to Spice Box, where we unlock the magic of herbs and spices. Today, let's answer a common kitchen question. Are fresh herbs better than dried? The answer is, it depends. Fresh herbs like basil, cilantro, and parsley are bursting with vitamins, minerals, and antioxidants, and these can be sensitive to heat and drying. For example, fresh parsley is packed with vitamin C and vitamin K, which supports our immunity and bone health. Fresh basil contains anti-inflammatory compounds and magnesium. This is so great for our heart health. These delicate nutrients can diminish when exposed to heat, so fresh herbs are best for raw dishes, salads, and finishing touches. Now, what about dried herbs? They have their own magic superpowers. Drying removes water but concentrates the medicinal compounds, making herbs like oregano, rosemary, and thyme even richer in antioxidants. Dried oregano has 4 times more antioxidants than fresh, making it a powerhouse for immune support. Dried rosemary contains a potent compound that supports brain health. Since dried herbs are more concentrated per teaspoon, you can use less while still getting big health benefits. So, which should you choose? Fresh for delicate vitamins and bright flavor, dried for intensity and longer-lasting nutrients. Want the best of both? Try drying your own herbs at home. Air drying or low heat dehydration preserves more nutrients and essential oils. Whether fresh or dried, herbs add flavor, fragrance, and nutrition to your meals. Keep your spice box stocked with both and keep experimenting. Until next time, happy cooking! And remember to keep adding a little spice to your life. hold on to your aprons. Don't go away. In a few minutes, we're going to be bringing on our very special guest, and you're going to learn so much. Get out your notebooks and a pen. See you soon. As First Lady of Dancing in the Kitchen, I am honored to invite you to enjoy this elegant message from our beloved sponsor. Welcome back. I am so excited to bring our guest on today because she is one of my nutrition heroes and mentors. Isis Melinda Israel is a certified nutritionist, culinary chef, and wellness advocate dedicated to empowering individuals to take control of their health through the power of whole foods and a plant-based diet. She holds a nutrition certification from Cornell University and additional certification as a nutrinarian. Did I say that right? Nutritarian chef. And she is all about reversing disease and preventing disease and promoting a nutrient-dense plant-based diet. As the owner of the Foodture Cooking School in Windsor, Isis specializes in the prevention, reversal, and mitigation of diseases by promoting nutritionally dense plant-based eating. As the owner of Foodture in Windsor, California, she believes that true health begins in the kitchen. Isis is also the instructor for the Food for Life program by the Physicians Committee for Responsible Medicine, PCRM, founded by Dr. Neil Barnard. Drawing from her personal experience as a cancer survivor, she passionately advocates for the healing benefits of plant-based foods and a plant-based lifestyle. In addition to her work as a nutritionist and educator, she holds the role of Senior Master Dealer for Salad Master in Northern California. Her mission is to inspire others to view food as medicine and teach them how to prepare simple, delicious, and nourishing meals that enhance their overall well-being. I have to tell you, Isis's recipes are incredible. They're delicious. And if you thought salads were boring, well, think again, because she is going to change your world when it comes to salads. Isis, I am so happy to have you on. Thank you for coming on the show.
Love you, Hannah.
I love you too. I've learned so much from Isis, and especially how to eat. And my whole diet has changed because of this woman. The theme of our episode today is medicine women and celebrating the history of women throughout time who have been the medicine women in their kitchens, for their families, for their communities, because of their knowledge of plants and the healing powers of plants. And Isis is indeed a medicine woman. I am honored to have her on the show. She has so much to share with the community, and that's what we're all about here at Dancing in the Kitchen, is having the kitchen be a place of healing. So you're just the perfect person to have on the show, Isis.
Oh, well, thank you, Hannah. Well, it's inspiring for me because I do want to build community. I want to inspire people to just eat healthier. And I think women are a big part of that forever. Since the beginning of time, they really encourage their families to eat healthier. And food is medicine, and plants are medicinal, and they have healing properties. And yeah, it's all about diet and lifestyle. In fact, diet is a Greek word, and it never meant like your food. It actually, diet means it's a way of life. And so diet and lifestyle, when I think of diet, it's a way of life, and a way of life in the kitchen is just how can we incorporate more colors, more plants, and the healing properties of food as medicine.
I love that. That's wonderful. And it is. I talk about nourishment on this show a lot and how nourishment happens on so many levels. So just like the word diet, it's not just about the food, but the whole experience of how we're taking care of ourselves
Yeah,
and the lifestyle.
I love that. And to me, it's about fun. Like, get creative in the kitchen. Recipes or guidelines, get creative. And that's what we're going to do today. We're going to make a very delicious, healing, nurturing, amazing salad, because that's my life goal, is to outdo my last salad. So today, this is I love this salad. I kind of tweaked it a little bit because I added way more herbs today.
I think that's wonderful. And that's an incredible life goal because the bar is high. They don't call this woman salad master for nothing. Incredible.
Okay, well,
So
we're
what are
going to
we
get
gonna
started.
do? Okay.
Well, so I'm going to make a salad, and it's going to be, let's get going with some zucchini first. So zucchini is a very healing food. And one of the things, well, first of all, the dark green means it's rich in chlorophyll. It has a lot of nutrition, but it's also high in carotenoids and lutein. And lutein is good for our brain. It's good for our memory. It has so many healing properties. And zucchini is so versatile. So I'm just going to chop it up here. And I'm going to make it longer, like zoodles, because who doesn't love a zoodle?
Right? I love zoodles.
So look at
And
that.
it's so nice to have them fresh rather than pre-processed.
Right. So a little bit of zoodle here. And zucchini is really versatile, and it has a lot of moisture and water. So it is very alkaline, and it's going to feed your body on, cooked, but I like it raw like this. Just zucchini is amazing. Okay, another
Wonderful.
zucchini.
Oh, another zucchini. There we are.
Okay. We want to feed our audience a lot of salad here. So
You're going to eat well. When you come to dancing in the kitchen, you eat well.
So one thing about lutein, when they do research on looking in the brain of people that have good cognitive functioning, thank you, and it's preventative. Like, they look inside the brain when they find high amounts of lutein and zeaxanthin. These carotenoids, they're going to mean that you have a healthy brain, because we want that. With the rates of Alzheimer's, like a third of people past the age of 85, dealing with dementia and Alzheimer's, we have to do everything we can, because prevention to me is so much more important in your kitchen, prevention in the kitchen versus treatment later. So let's do some apple. And I chose this apple in this recipe because a green apple is a little tartar, and I want it to also hold up, because this is a salad that you could eat the day after. And a tart apple like this, a green apple or a pink lady or something, will hold up a lot better.
Do you mean it won't oxidize as quickly?
It's just, it just holds up better. It's not as, you'll notice like a Golden Delicious or certain apples, they're all going to oxidize unless we put vitamin C on them, like lemon juice. It's not as soft. It's more dense and not as mushy like a Golden Delicious. So it tends to hold up better in a salad. So that's why I like green apples. And apples are naturally detoxing. They have malic acid, which detox your liver and your gallbladder. And then the peels of apple have quercetin, which is a longevity compound. And I have to say, with talking about medicine and herbs, all plants have something called phytochemicals, which phyto means plant. And these chemicals Phytochemicals are only present in plants. They're micronutrients that are helping with our immune system, preventing DNA damage, sustaining us, healing us. And so that's why I really advocate eating more plants, because that's the only place we're going to get like vitamin C or vitamin E or phytochemicals or certain antioxidants. They're only found in plants. So that's why we want to eat as much plants as possible to really prevent any disease that could be affecting us. All right.
I love these carrots.
They're
They're
beautiful.
almost purple. Why
Yep.
is that?
Well, these are red carrots, and actually all carrots were originally purple. And there was a duke, they call him the Duke of Orange, and he said, I want orange carrots. So what they did is they took the most orange carrot, planted the seed, then the most orange carrot, and so on and so on and so on until we have orange carrots. But they're all great. I mean, we do know as far as nutrition that the darker the color in the plant, the more nutrition, the more antioxidants, the more phytochemicals. So darker foods are going to be healthier for us on so many different levels. But carrots are great because of the beta carotene, which is a carotenoid. And the nice thing is we're going to pair this salad with some Brazil nuts and some olive oil, because carotenoids are increased by a little fat. Like a healthy fat, you're going to absorb more of those antioxidants. And beta carotene is important, especially for women, in preventing breast cancer and certain hormonal cancers. So eating a couple of carrots a day is like a really healthy thing to do that's preventative against these type of cancers. But these ones are really pretty, these red carrots.
They sure are.
All right, look at that. Maybe one more, Hannah,
Okay.
you think? Now, any carrot, carotenoids too, the interesting thing about them is like lycopene or lutein or beta carotene or zeaxanthin. When those foods are slightly cooked, we get a lot more of the beta carotene. It's more absorbable. But one thing that can throw us off is a lot of food actually contains beta carotene, like all your dark leafy greens, which are the most nutritious food out of any food source. When you can add more greens to your diet, you're actually going to prolong your life. But they're also full of beta carotene. You just don't see the beta carotene because of the chlorophyll. An example would be if you're in New England and you're looking at all the beautiful trees, and as they try changing color to orange and yellow, those are the dark leaves that are losing the chlorophyll, and so then you see the beta carotene. So the same thing in your garden, like all dark leafy greens, they have a lot of beta carotene. You don't see that color until you forget about it in the fridge, and then you pull out your kale and it looks sort of orange because we lost the chlorophyll. But speaking of chlorophyll,
yes,
we're going to add some parsley.
All right.
And parsley is so nutritious. First of all, it's dark leafy green. It's considered having a serving of greens, is having these fresh herbs. So parsley is helpful because it cleans your blood. It's also a diuretic too. It's so helpful in just maintaining energy levels. You can tell I like parsley. I try to do like a parsley smoothie almost on a daily basis. Because a lot of people, when they do eating greens, they'll throw in some spinach, but they don't think of like parsley and fresh herbs as having a serving of greens, where it really is. So now we have some mint. You want to add that in?
Sure.
So we know mint is great for digestion, but it's like having a serving of greens. So one thing about having a salad is you want it to be really bright and flavorful. And by adding all of these greens, you get lots of different taste profiles. So we want to add the basil.
Oh, it smells so good.
So there's a serving of greens. And they have properties for healing. They have properties that are preventative. They have properties that actually help detox at a cellular level for getting rid of all sorts of toxins. And we know like certain heavy metals are going to leave our body when we have more chlorophyll. Now, one thing I like to do in a salad is add some sort of cruciferous vegetables. Now, cruciferous means cross in Latin. So if you grow broccoli or kale or collards or arugula, when it goes to seed, it makes a yellow cross-shaped flower. That's called cruciferous. Now, the amazing thing about cruciferous vegetables is the sulfuric compounds. When you chop your cabbage or your broccoli, optimally, you should leave it there for like 45 minutes after you chop it, because you're activating an enzyme called myrinase. And myrinase helps produce sulforaphane. And sulforaphane is a major cancer fighter and a detoxer. But the nice thing about cruciferous is we can eat broccoli sprouts, and when we're chewing it, we're breaking the cell wall, we're getting this enzymatic reaction, it's producing sulforaphane, and broccoli is a miracle food, but broccoli sprouts have like almost 10 to 100 times more sulforaphane,
Wow,
which is
that's
cancer
amazing.
fighting. So we're gonna do some broccoli sprouts.
Okay.
And sprouting is so easy. It's something you can do in jars in your own kitchen, and really easy to just add in and rinse them. And you can have a whole fresh garden in your kitchen just by sprouting.
Wow.
Okay, so let's add some little bit of tang and saltiness and deliciousness by adding some sun-dried tomatoes.
All right.
And tomatoes, of course, are high in lycopene, which is a carotenoid, and it's so important for women with preventative for breast cancer. Lycopene is also important for men as a prevention for prostate cancer. But now let's add some zest. And Hannah, if you know me, which you do, I just am obsessed with lemons. And lemons are a flavonoid. And these flavonoids, the vitamin C is so important. And they're antiviral, antifungal. The limonene is so important for building our immune system and supporting and preventative. So anytime that I make pretty much anything, I add lemon zest or lemon or some sort of citrus, because those flavonoids are their own family of antioxidants. So you have flavonoids in like citrus. You have flavonoids in chocolate. You have flavonoids in green tea. So all of these are just going to really become medicine in our kitchens when we can add them, and they can help sustain us, and they can help prevent and mitigate and reverse. So we're going to do some lemon zest, a little more. And Hannah, maybe I can have you juice the lemon on top of the salad. So a lot of people will juice the lemon, but they'll forget about the zest. Now, if you don't want zest, I always feel like it like brightens the flavor of anything that I'm making. But you could juice the lemon, and then you could keep the lemon peel just in the freezer, and later you could add it to when you're juicing or add it to some sort of dessert. I like to actually juice the whole lemon, including the outside, and I make like a little tonic with ginger, juice the ginger and the whole entire lemon, and then I just keep it in the fridge, and then you could add it to a cup of hot water as a tea. So look at that.
Beautiful.
All right. Love that.
All right. What's next?
All right. So because we have all this healthy green chlorophyll and carotenoids, we want to get the maximum amount out of them. And the way to do that is to add some healthy fats. So I always like to add a little texture to a salad, some seeds or nuts. we're going to do Brazil nuts, and I'm going to make a little Brazil nut cheese here. Sorry about that.
And it helps to make it more filling too, like a meal.
So Brazil nuts are really high in selenium, and selenium really helps with our immune system and all cellular function, and protects you against DNA damage, like oxidative stress. So we need to eat probably a couple Brazil nuts at least a week.
Okay.
Can you manage that?
I can manage. I can manage that. Is there like a limit to how many Brazil nuts?
Yeah, you could overdo it. Like you could overdo selenium. So I'm just going to grind them up here.
But most people don't even have Brazil nuts in their diet, so it's not something to be concerned about.
No, and it's a nice way. I mean, I just try to look at what we need for a recommended daily amount of nutrition, and where are we getting vitamin E or vitamin C or all the necessary minerals. And so if we can get them in our diet, and make sure that your plate is really colorful, and that at least half of your plate is fruits and vegetables. Like 3 fruits a day. People that are eating fruit, they're living longer. 5 servings of vegetables. And a serving size is just cup your hand. Yeah, it's like like the size of your palm is a serving. Okay. And that's about a half a cup.
And then how many plants, like, in a week should we have?
Well, you want to definitely have 30 different plants within a week, but I say in a day. And why that, they did something called the American Gut Project, and they looked at healthy microbiomes, people that had more diversity of plants. You have a bacteria in your gut that just likes kale. You have one that just likes collards, one that just like arugula and horseradish. So if you're not eating that, you're not blooming that strand of microbiome. So having 30 different plants is really going to help build your gut microbiome. And why we want to build that is because 70% of our immune system's in our gut, 90% of our serotonin is our gut. Our gut actually dictates the rest of our overall health. So 30. But the cool thing is, Hannah, spices count. So if you do a wee bit of curry and some cumin and some, you have a whole pot of soup with a bunch of different spices, each spice counts as one of those 30.
That's great.
So if you're making a smoothie, I mean, how many ingredients do we have here? Do we have 30?
How many ingredients do we have?
We have zucchini, we have carrot, we have apple, basil, mint, broccoli sprouts,
parsley,
lemon, tomato, Brazil nuts. Now we're going to do some fresh garlic in here.
What, like 15, 12, between 12 and 15, just in the salad alone.
And we're going to do some dressing, some apple cider vinegar, and some olive oil. So right there, I mean, I can make a salad with 30 ingredients.
Yeah, you could. Yeah.
If you add your little spices. So right now I'm going to just chop up some garlic. And garlic has these sulfuric compounds. And when we break the cell wall and you let it react with the air, same thing with cruciferous vegetables. We want these sulfuric compounds like in onions and garlic to react with the air, because as they're being oxidized and they have this reaction, they're releasing more of the healing properties. So allicin, which is found in all the onion family, garlic family, when we chop our garlic and we let it sit for about 10 minutes before we cook it, we're getting more of that health benefit. Now, if it was a cruciferous vegetables, we really want to let it chop and sit for maybe 40 minutes. So that's actually a great idea, is to think ahead and do some meal prep. Have your chopped purple cabbage sitting in the fridge because it's producing the compounds that we need. Okay, so I'm mixing the garlic in here with the Brazil nuts. And I call this, we're going to put a little salt. Do you want to add some salt in there?
Tell me when.
Okay, that's good.
Okay.
And why I do this is it just is so delicious. To me, I call it Brazil nut Parmesan. And you could keep it in a little jar and you can sprinkle it on salads, on grains, on any foods. And it just gives this like delicious, nutty, garlicky, salty little taste to it. And it just is delicious. So this is Brazil nut Parmesan. Now let's add our vinegar and oil.
All right.
So we want to do a little olive oil on the salad, Hannah.
Okay, you tell me when.
Okay. You know, we want to use, yeah, that's good. We want to do olive oil that's really dark green and grassy, that's high in polyphenols, because what that means is that when it's really green and grassy, it can take a heat without changing its structure, and it's not carcinogenic. A lot of oils are affected by heat and air, and that's why you want it in a green bottle or a dark color bottled, and then you want it to be bright green like the first pressing of olive oil. Now, apple cider vinegar, let's add some of that. So apple cider, oh, that's good.
Okay.
Okay. Apple cider vinegar is pretty amazing.
Yes.
I mean, it's just so healing. What they found is like people that were diabetic, that they took like 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar before they went to bed. And don't drink it directly because it could affect your esophagus and burn it. You want to reduce it like in water or something. But they woke up with better blood sugar levels, or eating it like in a salad 30 minutes before you eat will lower the whole glycemic load of everything that you're eating.
That's
so
amazing.
It's pretty amazing.
Are you all learning something? Pretty amazing, right?
Okay,
Wow.
Let's do some salt and pepper in the salad.
I already put, the salt I put in there.
Yes.
So you tell me when.
Okay, so you want to make sure you're using a good quality salt, because right now we're dealing with a lot of microplastics. That's great.
Okay.
We're dealing with microplastics in salt. It really is kind of sad because all of our ocean or waterways are full of lots of microplastics. In fact, most people are showing up with 0.05% in their brain of microplastics. It's showing up in the epithelium lining of our blood vessels and atherosclerosis to the heart. So we really want to lower our toxic load in the kitchen and look at good ingredients and make sure you're using a quality salt that isn't full of microplastics.
You know, I want to have you on again real soon to talk about detox living and all of this.
I would
it's such
love
an important
to come
topic.
back and talk about that.
Yeah?
But look at this medicine, like
Okay.
these herbs and this beautiful salad here.
It's beautiful.
It's all about green, yes, some
Okay.
black pepper.
Tell me when.
I love black pepper, so that's good.
Okay.
And then we're going to sprinkle this with some Brazil nut cheese. And
beautiful.
it's so pretty. Now, I know, Hannah, that there's one ingredient that I would actually love to add to this salad, which is some green olives. But I left them out today because I like that little briny flavor.
I'm not a fan. I try. But you actually made me something with olives that I liked. What was that?
I made an olive
Was it like
fig or something.
it was something like that, olive and fig. And somehow they canceled each other out.
Okay. But look at this beautiful salad. All this
so
lemon
beautiful.
zest. And actually that's why I added this sun-dried tomatoes, because it does add that little
Right.
tanginess and that little briny, salty flavor. They were marinated sun-dried tomatoes. All right, so look at this gorgeous, gorgeous,
so pretty.
gorgeous
Look at
salad.
that. Aw, it's lovely.
Okay,
Here, let's hold it up.
this is a bowl of medicine in the kitchen.
Yeah, it's so pretty. Okay. And
Ready.
we're going to serve the food really soon, but I have a couple questions to ask you. First of all, what advice would you give to someone who's trying to adopt a healthier lifestyle?
I would say don't overwhelm yourself. Like plan ahead. make sure, I think the biggest change is help to me begins in the kitchen. So whoever's doing the grocery shopping has a big responsibility because we live in a world of ultra processed food and processed food. So when you're in the grocery store, realize if you're going to buy it, someone in your home is going to eat it. So try to go for more whole foods, more plant-based foods than processed foods or unhealthy foods, because eventually someone's going to eat it in your home. So just plan ahead and try to get it more colors on your plate.
Yeah, that's wonderful. And what role does food and cooking have in your life and your family? I know it's a huge one.
Cooking plays a big role in my life. It's my career is cooking and teaching nutrition and healthy cooking. But to me, it's like I wanted to instill that into my children as well. And my son and daughter both love to cook. And I remember my daughter at sleepovers calling me on the phone because I taught my kids to read ingredient lists on packages. And so I remember my daughter, like in second grade, calling and saying, "Hi, Mom, can I eat this blah, 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 blah," really long word. And I'm like, "No, we can't eat that." So it's just really teaching people in your life, in your family, in your home, how good food can taste. And I love to build community around that. Like just inspire people through food. Because if food tastes good, like if the salad tastes good, somebody else is going to want to make it. And then I feel like, I got to win. Someone's eating more fruits and vegetables.
Yeah. And you mentioned community and cooking, and you offer cooking classes in the Bay Area.
I sure do. We
Tell
do.
us about it.
Okay. So at Foodture, nutrition has been a passion, and teaching it to other people how good and how easy, and it doesn't have to be complicated. To me, it's like if I can't make a great meal in 30 minutes, I'm probably not going to do it. So I want to teach this to other people. So we teach cooking classes in Sonoma County. We teach them in Marin. We teach them in Napa. You can always go to foodture.blogspot.com. I have 3,000 vegan plant-based recipes there. And yeah, you can just come to a class. Just come enjoy some dancing and some great food and what we have to offer.
That sounds wonderful. And it is wonderful. What inspires you, Isis, to keep innovating in the kitchen? Because your recipe blog, 3,000 recipes, and they are delicious. So what keeps you going?
Inspires.
Yeah.
You know, I'm one of those sit on the couch late at night after I've cooked for other people or taught a cooking class, and I go on Pinterest and I sit there and look at recipe ideas and I go, oh, I could do that, but I'm going to tweak. To me, a recipe is a guideline and you get free agency to change it the way you want it. So I definitely get inspired on Pinterest. And food has to be pretty.
Yes.
So when I see like some post about beautiful food, I'm like, that's inspiring. Like it's beautiful. And, you know, it just makes you want to eat it. And then I'm thinking, oh, I could add some lemon zest to that.
Of course you would. Well, I've certainly seen the spreads when you have parties for us, and you're so generous with this incredible food you prepare. And it's so beautiful, so inspiring. And as you said, you want to have a lot of colorful foods in your diet. So they're like art tools.
Yeah, it is. To me, it's an artist. Like I am an artist, and it has to be beautiful. And I go, oh, it's missing some purple, or I'll get the purple somewhere else, or I'm going to add some more red, or just, you know, I do think about that because it has to be like a painted, beautiful, an empty canvas that I get to create beauty and beauty through food.
Beautiful. It's beautiful. And one last very important question.
Okay.
If your kitchen had a song, what would it be?
Well,
and why?
And why? Well, I do have a beautiful kitchen, and I do cook in people's kitchens. So over 20 years of cooking in people's kitchen. When I made my own kitchen, I made it the way I wanted it to be. And there is a song, I think it's by Leo,